have a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tokimaru and I'm here to have a look at Microvania. As the title suggests, this is a 2D retro-style Metroidvania game. It was developed and self-published by a solo indie Australian dev named Dreampunk, and as far as I can find, this is actually their first published game. Now, before we jump into the options menu, this is a really weird thing I noticed. So obviously, I'm playing the full paid version of this game. On Steam, there's also a free demo that you can download. But even though I'm playing the full paid version, you can also play the demo. They have an option on the main menu that lets you start a demo save file, which I thought was really interesting. I've never seen that before in a game. It's so bizarre because, like, if you've already bought the game, you're going to be playing the game, right? If you're going to try out the full game, you're going to be playing the full game. I don't know why they would have the demo option, especially when separately they also have a free demo that you can download. But I thought that was very interesting. Now, let's jump right into the options menu. Like I said, this is a 2D retro game. It's fully pixel art. This game has pixel perfect screen scaling, sorry. And if you take it off full screen, you have 5 or 6 different options for screen size. The base resolution is 160 by 90, so very, very small at original resolution, but it's really cool to see that they're actually going out of their way to dedicate themselves to being truly a retro game. I noticed there's this one small bug that it has, where if you have the game on full screen, and you take it off of full screen, the screen size that it defaults to is like 0, which is very bizarre. Obviously, the base screen size 160 by 90, that's considered screen size 1, but like it defaults to 0, which is very weird because it makes the entire window disappear except for the maximize, minimize, and exit buttons. So that's a very weird minor bug I've noticed, but it's not too big of an issue. We have the retro effect on. I like that they call it a retro effect. This is the CRT effect. It has 2 settings. I actually really like the way that the retro effect looks in this game. It has a little bit of, so it has the CRT lines, but one minor thing annoys me is I feel like the chromatic aberration on this filter is a little bit strong. I like games where they try to have it blend the pixels with other pixels and also have the scan lines. I don't like that it has the chromatic aberration, but I do think that once we get into the game, it actually looks quite good. You can adjust the granularity of the scan lines. I haven't actually noticed it being that big of a difference. You can see that it's changing. I don't think the actual granularity of these options are a big enough difference for it to be here, but I do appreciate that it is an option. Going into the options menu, we have music and sound effects sliders. I do wish they were actual sliders, but this is good enough. One small problem I have is the sound in this game is so loud. Like, if you have everything at maximum, the game is so loud. I've had to turn it down and it's still pretty loud as it is. So be warned when you open up the game for the first time. We have several accessibility options. This may be a retro game, but we do have modern quality of life. We have autosave, which you can turn on and off. You can also, when you're in the game, you can actually save and quit wherever you are. We're not going by retro saving. You can save anywhere and quit. They also have autosave, which is pretty nice. Hints, I believe this is instructions. I believe so this game doesn't have like an instruction manual or anything. It has keyboard and controller rebindings. So that's the only time you can actually look at those. I believe the hints is to determine how often it shows you how to do certain things. But even though I have it set to once, it seems like it shows me it shows me the instructions every time I get to a point where I need to use them. So I'm not entirely sure how this is intended to work. Shooting, we have a couple of options that I can show you in game. Basically, it's how you fire, because by default, it's every time you press the fire button, it shoots one bullet and that's it. You can't hold it or anything. I'll show you a few examples when we jump into the game. Claw is an item that I actually haven't gotten yet, but it has a few options such as hold and toggle, which is very nice. And we have the option to automatically respawn at the boss, because if you're at a boss and you die at a boss, you respawn at the nearest sort of checkpoint station. So that's also very nice to have. We have a few very, very nice accessibility settings. I'm not sure what else I would want in this. Maybe a colorblind mode. Perhaps a colorblind mode. That's about it. We have rebindable keyboard and controller keys, which is very nice. Sorry. One thing that annoys me about the menu navigation in this game is on some menus, you can press B to exit out of the menu, and on some menus, you have to navigate over to OK or back, or if you're on the map screen, you have to press the map button to get out. You can't always back out, which is, it's very weird and inconsistent, but very simple controls. We can rebind both keyboard and controller as we see fit, and then we also have the credits, and that is about it for that. Oh yeah, so this is a thing that I was noticing a few seconds ago. It does that thing that a lot of older games do, where if you leave it idle on the title screen for long enough, it'll start scrolling through a list of enemies and items and things. It's a very neat touch. I feel like the way they did the timer is like, I don't know how they did it, because it's not if you leave it idle on here for too long. I think it's if you don't enter the game for too long. So like you saw just now, when I exit out of the settings menu, it almost immediately started going into the demo mode. Which is a little bit weird, but it's a nice that is there. So let's jump into the game. We have the ability to make 3 save files. If you look here, I'm not actually entirely sure how this timer works. I have like 4.5-ish hours of this game, and I'm not sure what it is counting. So that's a little bit weird. All right, so this is Microvania. Like I said, I have about 4.5 hours in this game. It feels like I am probably somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of the way through this game. I think I have most of the map unlocked. I've seen people say they finished the game in about 2 hours, but I'm trying to go for 100%, so I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what the expected time is if you're going for something like that. Probably between 5 or 6 hours. Like I said, it's a very, very small game. It's called Microvania for a reason, but I do have most of the map unlocked. I just got to a boss, so I want to show you that, but I decided to start over here because I wanted to show you a few things on the way. One thing that bothers me about the map is you can add markers, which is really cool. I really like that, except you can, what I wish you could do is place it on specific parts. Like, you can see this map is navigable by going from room to room or square to square on this grid. And you can set a marker on a room. I wish you could move it between certain parts of the room, because I find myself wanting to mark certain walls in a room so that I remember what it is, as opposed to just having it in the room overall. So that's a minor gripe I have, but it is intended to be a retro game, so that's not too big of an issue. It's just a minor personal thing. So this is the guy that you play as. You're a little spaceman with a gun. You have a shoot button. You have missiles, which you have to unlock to be able to use, but you can see I have like 100 of them in the corner. And we can go ball mode. This game is called Microvania, so obviously it was going to be a Metroidvania. The one funny thing about it is, despite dropping Metroid from the title and just keeping the Vania part, this game is 100% intended to be a Metroid clone or fan game. Everything about it is incredibly Metroid. Like I said, you're a spaceman, you have a blaster, you have a ball mode, you can like aim your gun all around you. You have missiles to open certain doors. I think this door actually unlocks with bombs. which I only have one of, but I don't have any right now. There's like a heat suit you can unlock. Everything in this game, it feels one-to-one to Metroid in almost every conceivable way. So it's, despite it being Microvania, there's almost no Castlevania-esque elements to be seen. Everything about this feels like Metroid, which could be a criticism. Personally, I don't have too big of an issue with it, but if you're looking for a game that's more original in its theming and design, you might not necessarily find it here. This is purely a Metroid fan game type of game. Now, I'm just gonna go through a couple of these rooms because I just wanted to show you a bit of the gameplay. But, you know, it's typical Metroidvania type game. We're going through a bunch of rooms. Something I think is cool about this game is it's very labyrinthian. It's very maze-like in its design. So almost immediately from the start of the game, I believe we start like right here or something. It's in one of these rooms. But almost immediately from the start of the game, you can traverse. I think you can enter into any area of the map. Obviously, there are places locked off. Like, let me actually just go backwards for a second. Oh, shoot, that's annoying. I think I can actually, nope. Obviously, there are places that are locked off. Like, for instance, this door. I don't actually know. I think I actually have to beat the boss to unlock this. I have to get there from another angle. But like I showed you a second ago, there are some places obviously you can't get through if you don't have the right items. For instance, this laser I can't currently get through right now, but I think I'm about to unlock an item that does it. This door, currently I have 0 ball bombs, so I can't get through this. These, you have to have missiles to get through. So, you know, classic Metroidvania type game where you have to go around the map collecting items in order to unlock doors, find secrets, you have to backtrack. You can see there's a secret on this room that I couldn't get until recently. I am not bothering to get that right now because I want to move on and get to a specific area of the game. This you need the ball bomb for. So there are a lot of places that you need to unlock items to progress, but from the start of the game, from the start of the game, you can pretty much access every area or parts of every area, even if you can't 100% get through every single door and find every single secret. Before getting any important items, I touched basically every single part of the map. So I touched the lava area, I touched the grass area, I touched this area, I touched the ice area. I was able to access pretty much everything. And as far as I can tell, this game isn't particularly linear. I think you legitimately can do this entire game in any order that you want. The only exception that I found is these blue areas. I feel like these blue areas are supposed to be particularly hidden secrets because this has like QCF on it. I don't know what that means. Seems like a secret code that I don't know what to do with. But for the most part, you can do most of this game in pretty much any order that you want. Now, as you can see here, we have a Mega Man inspired disappearing block puzzle. However, in order to circumvent that, I'm going to use an ability that I got recently, and we're going to use Spike Ball to just get up here. So I want to, oh crud. I think I need to get on from this end. I'm going to head through here and, oh shoot, this is bad. There we go. Okay. I'm going to try and get, So you see this hint on the screen where it tells me how to aim? It like keeps popping up even though I just turned hint on once, which is kind of weird. So like I said, feels like a bug. Oh yeah, actually, before I move on, I wanted to show you this feature that was added in an update that's really cool. So snails are a type of enemy that you can actually stand on. You can, obviously they're enemies and you can kill them, but you can also stand on them. This is a feature that was added in an update. If you hold the aim button, eventually your guy will crouch down and then you can hold a direction. and you can pet the snail, and he gives you rewards. Isn't that cute? So that's just a cute little feature that I saw that they added in an update to this game. But yeah, all in all, it's fairly basic. There isn't much to it because pretty much the entire thing is like Metroid. Every single detail in this game feels very much like this is a Metroid fan game. So like, you know, you have health pickups, you have bomb pickups, you have missile pickups. Like I said before, you have like the heat suit. You have this spike ball ability. I can't think of anything that I've seen yet that's like completely unique to this game and not in Metroid. Hot crud. Other than the pet the snail button, which is really cute. Now, it's hard to say if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, because I think a lot of people sort of miss the more retro Metroid type games. Obviously, Metroid Dread came out pretty recently, but it's not exactly the same as like Metroid 1. And I think if you are the type of person that's really, really interested in Metroid fan games, then you are probably going to enjoy this game. Let me get through here. You're probably going to enjoy this game. Let me heal up here. So this is actually a boss that I found just before doing this recording. I think there are only 3 or 4 bosses in this game, or 4 or 5. I think there's one more boss in this gray area, and that's probably it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm very close to the end, but it might take me a little more because I want to try and 100% this game. If we go through here, so with this game, there actually aren't that many collectible, well, okay, one sec. Let me, oh God, what was the button for this? Oh wait, no, I had to do it out here. Oh shoot. Okay, wait, let me quit. So the way this game does like abilities and upgrades and things is actually a little bit different than Metroid. I know I just said this game is basically one-to-one a classic Metroid game, but it does things a tiny bit differently. So most of the power-ups and things, like the main power-ups like Spike Ball or Heat Suit, they require you to go into a boss room. So you enter a boss room, you get the ability, you fight the boss, and then you can use it outside of that boss fight. Additionally, there are a few, wait, what was the button I had to do for this? I actually forgot how to do this. Okay, it's down. Additionally, you can find these microchips out in the world that sort of modify the way you play. So right now, I only have far cannon equipped. So I have a very long range basic weapon. You see that? Your range is pretty short if you don't have it on. Let me show you the difference. Let's take that off. This is about how far your bullets go if you don't have that on, and this is how far they go if you do. So it's quite a decent difference. You can find these microchips out in the world. I haven't found that many. I think I've seen a few that I should be able to get in after I do this boss. But in order to get them, you have to unlock battery. So you find bits of battery, and that lets you, it gives you slots to be able to use your microchips. So you can see right now I only have 1 full battery, so I can only equip 1 microchip. I feel like the rate at which they sort of give you both battery and microchips is very, very small. Like, it's very hard to find battery in order to equip more than 1 microchip. So even though I only have 4, I'm like craving for battery, and I've been searching everywhere for them over and over again, but it feels like they're very well hidden or very hardly distributed. So I think that's, I feel like they could be a little bit more generous with the batteries, or maybe I'm just really bad at looking for secrets. But that's how the upgrade system works outside of these sort of boss-specific abilities. So if I head into the boss, it forces you to grab a new ability before you fight the boss. So the first boss I fought was actually in the lava area, and, where is it? Oh yeah, I entered this room and they gave me the heat suit ability, so that allowed me to walk in lava, and you have to do this under lava fight, which was really, really cool, but also really hard. I think the difficulty of bosses in this game, there's a huge disparity in the difficulty of bosses. Maybe I accidentally found myself wandering into the most difficult part of the map first, because this was the first boss I fought and it was really, really hard. Like, it took me an hour to beat alone. But once I got to the boss here, and I've actually tried out the boss here, but I wanted to show you on stream. I found both of these bosses to be extremely easy. So this game, you can definitely do it out of order, but it may cause you some trouble with the disparity in the difficulty of the bosses. But like I said, you have to grab a new ability first, and then you fight a boss. So I got ball dash. Press X as ball to ball dash. Nice. Oh, that's bad. So remember earlier when I was showing you that laser that I couldn't get through? Well, now that I have ball dash, I can get through it, but I'm forced to fight this boss first to actually be able to do that. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Give me these. Like I said, I feel like the bosses are pretty easy. I really like the design of this one where he has lasers that he shoots for you to do the ball dash on. Come on. There we go. So like I said, the disparity of the difficulty of the bosses feels very... It feels extreme because like you saw just there, that took only a few seconds. Also, I'm not close to dead. If you look at the top left of the screen where my health bar is, I actually have 2 energy tanks. Like I said, very extremely Metroid. You get energy tanks, you get missile capacity, you get ball capacity. But that's basically it. I mean, from here, I think I have access to most of the map now. If I head back this way, this is actually a really cool design where the exit to this boss leads you directly to where you can use this ability. Come on, let me up here. There's not actually that much else. Oh, God damn it. Wait, actually, can I do this? No, let me through here. Oh wait, I do actually have bomb. No, I need 2 bombs to reach this bomb. Why would they do that? But yeah, like I said, there's actually not much to say about this game. It's extremely reminiscent of Metroid. I do think the overall design of the map is very well done. It's very maze-like. You can access every single area of the map and probably do this game in any order you want. Some areas may be more difficult than others, but I think that's a good thing in terms of these sort of do them in any order you want games. And even though it doesn't really bring anything particularly original to the table, I think if you're looking for a traditional Metroid-style fan game in Year of Our Lord 2026, I think you might enjoy this. I really think you might. This game is $5.99 on Steam or your regional equivalent. Like I said, there's also a free demo and apparently a demo that you can access if you've already bought the game. Yeah, that's basically it for this game. Ooh, there's a battery up there that I haven't gotten. My name has been Tokimaru. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.